Hello everyone, this is Mr. Allen and hope everyone's safe. Today is May the 7th. Today we're going to be doing circumference, area, and radius of a circle. So there are a couple new terms here or terms you may not be familiar with, so I highly recommend writing them down or taking notes. And yeah, let's get into it. Now, what we're going to be going over is, I'll start with the radius. So the radius of a circle is the length from the center of the circle to the surface of the circle. So an example would be this. The radius is from the center to the surface, a straight line from the center to the surface. Now, with a specific circle, that length is going to be the radius, the length is going to be the same throughout the entire circle. So if this radius is 5, that means from here to here is 5, here to here is 5. The radius is going to be the same throughout the entire circle. It's always going to be 5 for the entire circle. So if this radius was, let's say, 10, then the length would be 10 throughout the entire circle, but this radius is 5. So that's the radius from the center to the surface of the circle. A diameter is a straight line that passes through the center of the circle. So the diameter of this circle, the straight line that passes through. So from here to here, as long as it passes through the center, it would be diameter. So if the radius of this circle is 5 from here to here, and we know the radius from here to here is also 5 because it's going to be the same distance throughout, what would be the diameter of this circle? It would be 10 because we know that it's going to be the radius, which is 5, plus the radius, which is 5. So it would be 10. So the diameter is always 2 times the radius, or the radius plus the radius. So let's do an example here. Let's say the radius of a circle is 8 kilometers. So we know that from the center to the surface is 8. That's 8. And then we know from the center to the surface on the other side it's also 8. So it'll be 8 times 2, or 8 plus 8, which is 16. Let's say the radius of this circle from here to here is 12 this time. The radius of the circle is 12 kilometers. What is the circle's diameter? What is the full, or the straight line that passes through? We know the diameter would be 24 because the diameter is always going to be your radius times 2. Now, let's say the radius of the circle is 48 kilometers. If the radius is 48, the diameter is going to be 48 times 2, which is going to be 96. So your diameter, or the full length passing through the center, is always your radius times 2. All right? Now, I want to go over circumference. Now, the circumference of a circle, I want you to think about the perimeter of a square. So to find the perimeter of the square, it's going to be length plus length, width plus width, or 2 times length and 2 plus 2 times width. Now the perimeter is the distance around the square. The circumference is the distance around the circle. Now the same way there's a formula for perimeter, the formula for circumference is pi times diameter, or 2 times pi times radius. Now, what is pi? Pi is a ratio of a circle, but all I want you to think about, pi is 3.14. Anytime you see this symbol here, or you're thinking, or you hear the word pi of a circle, 3.14. It's always 3.14. So let's plug it in. Let's say you have a question that says the radius of a circle is 4 kilometers. What is the circle's circumference? Well, we know that we have, the formula is 2 times pi times radius. So that's going to be 2 times 3.14 times the radius for this one is 4. So you can either say 2 times 3.14, which is 6.28 times 4, or you could say 2 times 4 is 8, and then 8 times 3.14. And once you multiply that, you should get 25.12. So with the circumference, there's going to be two formulas. You're going to say pi times diameter if they give it a diameter, but if they give you the radius, it's 2 times pi times radius. So this one they gave us the radius, which was 4, and we did 2 times pi times radius, 2 times 3.14 times 4. Anytime you see pi, that's 3.14. All right. So let's look at another question. Let's say they give us that the radius of a circle is 9 kilometers. What is the circle's circumference? So they gave us the radius. So we know we need to do 2 times pi times radius, which is 2 times 3.14 times, what's the radius, is 9 kilometers. So 2 times 3.14 again is going to be 6.28. 6.28 times 9, I already worked it out, should give us 56.52. So the circumference, or the length around the circle, is 56.52 because we follow the formula. All we're doing is plugging it in. So you're going to see questions like this again. The radius of a circle is 4 kilometers. What is the circle's circumference? They gave us a radius, so we need to multiply 2 times pi times radius, which is 4. So we know that's 2 times 3.14 times 4. So again, 2 times 3.14 is going to give us 6.28. 6.28 times 4. I recommend you pause and like work it out. But once you finish working it out, you should get 25.12. 0.12. Yeah, 6.28 times 4, 25.12. Okay, now number 3, they say the diameter of a circle is 10. What is the circle's circumference? So this time they don't give us the radius, they give us the diameter. So the formula for circumference, when they give you the diameter, is just diameter times pi, or diameter, which is 10, times 3.14. When you multiply 3.14 times 10, you just move the decimal point 1 time, you should get 31.4. All right. So number 4, the diameter of a circle is 15 kilometers. What is the circle's circumference? So I want you guys to try to do these 4 by yourself. So I have the formula, well, yeah, I have the formula for 2 of them, diameter and radius. I want you guys to try to work these 4 by yourself. Go back if you need to, pause the video, and we're back. All right, so the diameter of a circle is 15 kilometers. What is the circumference? So we know we need to multiply 15 times 3.14. When we do that, we should get 47.1. Yeah, 3.14 times 47.1. For number 5, the radius of a circle is 15 kilometers. What is this, the circle circumference? We only need to do 15 times 2 times 3.14. We should get 94.2. Should equal 94.2. Let's put an equal sign here. Then number 6, the radius of a circle is 2.5 kilometers. What is the circle circumference? So when there's 2.5 times 2, which will make it 5, so 5 times pi, or 5 times 3.14, should give us 15.7. All right, and then number 7, the radius of a circle is 6 kilometers. They gave us radius, so we know it's 2 times radius times pi. So it's going to be 12 times 3.14 or 6.28 times 6. And that should give us 37.68. And then lastly, the diameter of a circle is 5. What is a circle's circumference? 5 times 3.14. If you know, they should give us the same as this one, which is 15.7, because it's 2 times, this one was 2, I'm sorry, number 6 was 2 times 2.5, which is 5, times 3.14, which gave us 15.7. And then if the diameter is 5, it's 5 times 3.14, which gives us the same 15.7. Okay, all right, so that was circumference of a circle. We're just plugging in the formula. 2 point, if it's, they give us the radius, 2 times pi times radius. If they give us the diameter, pi times diameter. What is pi? 3.14. All right, so now what if they want to know the area of a circle? So if we're doing the area of a circle, we're doing pi, which is 3.14, times radius squared. Now, we briefly went over this. Anytime you see the square formula, it's letting you know that this number is multiplying by itself this many times. So if you see 4 with a little 2 beside it, or 4 squared, we know that means it's 4 times 4, which is 16. If we see 9 squared, or 9 with a little 2, that means 9 is being multiplied by itself twice. So 9 times 9, which is 81. So let's say we have 5 squared, or 5 with a 2 beside it. That's going to gain what? It means 5 times 5, which is 25. Now, let's say we have 10 squared, or 10 with a little 2. It's letting us know that 10 is multiplying by itself twice, or 10 times 10. What's that going to be? 10 times 10 is 100. Now, let's say we have 6 squared. That's going to be 6 times 6. 6 times 6 is going to be 36. Now, let's say if we had 2 cubed, or 2 to the 3rd power, that's letting us know that it's 2 times 2 times 2. Yeah. So it's just letting you know how many times the number is multiplying by itself. So 2 cubed is going to give us 8. Yeah, 4 times 2 is 8. Awesome. But for area, all we need to know that it's pi times radius squared. Now, let's say we have a question like this. The radius of a circle is 3 miles. What is the circle's area? Now, what we need to do is area equals pi times radius squared. So we know area is equal to 3.14 times 3 squared. 3 squared, or 3 times 3 is 9. So we need to multiply 3.14 times 9. Once we work that out, we should get 28.26. I already worked these out for you. So all we're doing again is just plugging in. Read what it asks and then plug in the formula. So if it asks for area, we know we need to multiply pi times the radius squared. Now we always need to square the radius before you multiply. All right, so number 2, Let's go again. The radius of a circle is 2 miles. What is the circle's area? So again, we need to do area is equal to pi times radius squared. So we need 3.14 times 2 squared, which is 4. So if we multiply 4 times 3.14, what do we get? All right. We should get 14 point, I'm so sorry, 12.56. Yeah, 4 threes is 12. 4 times 14 is going to give you 56. 12.56 will be the area. So let's do number 3. The radius of a circle is 4 miles. What is the circle's area? So again, it's going to be pi times radius squared. 4 squared, or 4 times 4, is 16. 16 multiplied by 3.14. Down. It's going to be 3.14 times 4 squared. 4 squared. That's going to be 3.14 times 16. And that's going to give us 50.24. Yeah, well, to multiply, it should give us 50.24. For number 3, now I'm going to switch it up on you. Let's say it says the diameter of a circle is 6 miles. What is the circle's area? Now, it didn't give us a radius, it gave us a diameter, but we know that the radius is half of the diameter. So if they say the diameter of a circle is 6, what is the circle's area? Half of 6 is 3. We can plug that in. It's going to be 3.14 times half of 6, which is 3 squared. So 3.14 times 9. Once you work that out, you should get 28.26. So if it says the radius, we know that it's pi times radius squared, but if it gives us a diameter, we need to find out what half of the diameter is to make the radius, and then square the radius. So for number 4, the diameter of 6, we need to find what half of 6 is to make it the radius, and then 3.14 times 3 squared, which is 9, is going to give us 28.26. All right, so there are a couple steps in there, but all we're going to do is plug in and follow the formula. So for number 5, it says the radius of a circle is 5 miles. What is the circle's area? What would we need to do there? I want you guys to do these 4 by yourself. Try plugging them in, writing them down, and then we're going to come back and check them. So, all right, we're back. So the radius of a circle is 4 miles. What is the circle's area? So the formula for area is pi times radius squared. We actually did this one already. 4 squared, or 4 times 4, is going to give us 16. 16 times 3.14 is going to give us 50.24. So number 5 should be 50.24. Number 6, the radius of our circle is 7 miles. What is the circle's area? Again, pi times radius squared, or 3.14 times 7 squared. 7 squared is 7 times 7, which is 49. 49 multiplied by 3.14 is going to give you 153.86. And this one, I believe I said 50.24. All right, and number 7, the diameter of a circle is 8 miles. What is the circle's area? Now, they gave us the diameter this time, not the radius. And remember, the diameter is the full length from one end to the other, passing through the center. So we know that the radius is just half of that. So if the diameter of a circle is 8 miles, we know that we need to find the radius. Half of 8 is 4. So it's going to be 3.14 times 4 squared, which should sound familiar. And that's going to be 16 times 3.14, which is 50.24 again. And then number 8, the diameter of a circle is 10 miles. What is the circle's area? So we know that we need to find pi times radius. Half of the diameter is going to give us the radius, which is half of 10, which is 5. 5 multiplied by 5 squared, which is 25, times 3.14 is going to give us 78.5. All right, so there's a lot to digest there because we did radius, we did circumference, and we did area of a circle. So I highly, highly, highly recommend going back to the video, pausing it before I give the answers, and really working it out because you're going to need that repetition to really get the hang of it. But just to recap, radius is going to be from the center of the circle to the surface. So this is the radius of a circle. The diameter is going to be from one end of the circle to the other, passing through the center. A straight line passing through the center is going to be the diameter. Whatever length your radius is, it's going to be the same length throughout the entire circle. So if this is 3 miles, this is 3 miles, that's 3 miles, this is 3 miles, this is the same distance. The diameter is always going to be 2 times your radius. It's going to be your radius plus your radius. So 3 miles plus 3 miles is going to be your diameter. The circumference, or the distance around the circle, or the perimeter of the circle, is always going to be your 2 times radius times pi. I have it here just so you can look at it. Yeah, it's going to be 2 multiplied by pi times radius, or it's going to be pi times diameter. Then whenever you hear or see pi, all it's saying is 3.14. That's all it's saying. So if you see here, the circumference is pi times diameter, it's just 3.14 times whatever the diameter is. And then if they give you the radius, it's 2 times pi times radius, or 2 times 3.14 times the radius. And then for area of the circle, same way we'll find area of a square, length times width. This time we're going to do pi times radius squared, or 3.14 times your radius squared. All right, that's going to be it for now. Thank you for your time, and you guys have a great day.